Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 69. Consistency, commitment, persistence. This is a fun one. We got Mary Fitzgerald, the star of the hit show Selling Sunset on Netflix. One of my personal favorites. Let's have some fun. Let's get nuts. Let's get crazy. Everybody go nuts in the chat. You'll have access to Mary. Ask some questions. Just waiting for our partner in crime, Big Dave, to hop on, and we'll get rocking and rolling. Everybody's out today. Dave, I see you, brother. I see you, sex quail. Bringing you on right now. How handsome is this guy gonna look? That is the $1 billion question. But really, it's none of my business. The sex 60-second man, the sex quail, Big Dave.
Yeah.
What are you
What's up, man? What's going on?
How you doing, handsome?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. You're the perfect combination of sexy and cute.
That's what I've heard. Thank you for the compliment.
You look great.
I feel great, man. We got halfway done with the 2-minute drill in our new studio. Worked out better than ever. The best judges, showcases, contestants we've ever had. And, Justin Pugh, the head of my media, he is one skeptical mofo. And, man, he was pouring all over me how great the show is. So that made me feel great this morning.
Yeah, but sometimes you need someone like that on board to give you a different perspective.
Oh, absolutely. And he is one diligent dude, man. He's telling me not only about everything I'm doing, but you're doing and other people who surround you. So he's on top of it, man. He's giving me the whole Chris Chung update and everything. I got to keep on top of my clients.
Yeah, understood. Before you hopped on, we have a special guest today, Mary Fitzgerald, top real estate agent in LA from Netflix. Before we bring her on, we're going to get a little weird. Ready for me, you sex quail?
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking at your content, as I always do, which everybody should be doing. And I saw you talk about this and it really hit home to me. The first step to manifesting is knowing what you want. And it sounds so simple, but I think it gets overlooked.
Yeah, absolutely. Most people live in nothingness. They live as tubes, food in, food out, paycheck in, paycheck out. And the reason they do is they never take a few moments to pay attention to and give 5 levels of intention to the coincidences that they want. And in order to do that, you need to know what you want today in a trajectory that's going to scare you for the future. There was a picture that came out Monday. If anything in the world should change your perspective of the infinite world we live in, because it was an actual photo of billions of galaxies. The Webb telescope is capable of being able to show you the infinite world. And to that realm, when you know what you want, you go from nothingness, from being a tube to possibility. And if you know who you can help and who can help you with what you want, you go to the realm of probability. And now all that's left is to clear the interference between you and what you want and who you can help and who can help you to create your reality or your perspective. It's that simple, but most people don't get to the first step because they don't ask for help about what they want, who they can help, and who can help them.
You're such a sophisticated stingray, and I want to that. But I hear you often, ever since I met you, use the word block out interference. And it's something that I'm really starting to understand now. And believe me, I still have a lot more learning to do. Like the simple fact that we're all actually meant to be infinite, abundant. It's the opposite of what most people think. Well, we're in scarcity and we have to actually learn how to crave abundance. We're meant to be abundant, but it's the systems to block out all the interference is what you're really big on. But people think it's the opposite. Why is that?
Well, because the inverse relation of physics is the basis or the premise of what people most live by. They believe that the space around it is space. It's empty, and it's actually the inverse, right? We're part of that space. And so in order to understand interference, you have to shift the entire premise in which you live. Instead of trying to get more of stuff, more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, more worthy, you actually are that. And if you don't feel that, think that, say that, do that, and believe that, then you're interfering with that which you already are. And so when we can inversely relate space, time, and matter to be one and understand that we're just this speck, right? Like when you looked at billions of galaxies, that was actually, those billions of galaxies represent the same size as one little grain of sand in comparison to the infinite. And we think we are the infinite and the sand is the world. It's the opposite.
Yeah. Such beautifully said, as always. You just have a way of articulating things, Dave. I want to acknowledge you for a second. There's a lot of people that do similar stuff or in similar bodies of work, but you make it very digestible. And I wanted to let you know I appreciate that.
I do my best. It takes a lot of being interested, not interesting, and practicing the actual articulation of what you know. If you can't make it simple, then you don't know it. And there's a lot of people out there that are talking or skirting. It was fun. I was on Clubhouse, and I always take, because of my mission of to empower others, a lot of people kind of report in, oh, this person is stealing your stuff. I stole it from somewhere else. I believe that empowerment in complement is somebody that's actually, right, my mission to empower others, then you better be. I mean, if you can't make it your own and all you want to do is regurgitate or take what I say and do that, that's a compliment. That's what I'm looking for. So the more people that can simplify what we're talking about, the better. And I don't create a competition out of that either as well. And so many people do. They have a need to be offended. As I was listening to, someone on Clubhouse, like literally regurgitate my unwinding routine and time. All these people were offended by that. And I was complimenting it and excited about it because they're empowering other people with the stuff that I'm learning. And hopefully they're making it better than I've made it from whoever else I've learned it from, the Wayne Dyers, the Deepak Chopras, the Sadhgurus of the world. Yeah,
you also Kiki Kangaroo.
Kiki, for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, I saw Sean Merriman in the house, man. That's my boy. He's incredible. I was just Sean and I have been friends a long time, but man, has he turned into a great entrepreneur. So if you're not following Sean Merriman, he has an incredible company. If somebody's out there looking for an opportunity to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun, give Sean Merriman a little DM. He personally is involved in empowering a whole bunch of people to do so. So thanks for joining us, Sean.
Hell yeah. And
you have to get him on. You got to get him on this show sometime.
Let's do it. Consider it done.
Yeah.
We'll reach out after this. I would be honored to. Great guy, a legend. And I recently had lunch with Edger and James. And I just want to, because you brought it up, I'm so fascinated and I get so excited when I see professional athletes really make that transition so successfully to basically show that your second act could be just as successful as the first.
Or more, right? And they apply something that I believe is a common denominator of success. To be a professional athlete like an Edgerton James or a Sean Merriman, you have to have a desire that you must be what you can be and have the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential on and off the field. And that's what both of those guys have.
Hell yeah. I absolutely love this. I got one more for you. Selfishly, I just want to know this, but I think it's going to hit home for the audience. Talk about sales, right? And one of the things I heard you talking about this week is how can you facilitate getting more people to get back to you, Dave?
Yeah. So, look, I believe that that's the ultimate calling is practicing getting people to call you back, email back, DM you back. And what you want to do is be very clear on the two things that can happen when you reach out. You either get in touch with the person or you don't. And so 80% of the time you don't, or more, by the way, as we all know, 99% of all statistics are made up. 80% or more of the time when we reach out to someone via phone call, email, text, media, they don't get back to us and they're not available. So we need to practice leaving a message. And so the best way to get people to get back to you is to provide value and stimulate interest for them to get back to you. I personally, try to figure out how I can be a customer of, client of, or student of that person. So I will call Craig Siegel and say, hey, Craig, I'm interested in joining your group. Give me a call.
Yeah.
Now, Craig's most likely going to get back to me. I am interested in joining a group. Now, he's going to get back to me, and I'm going to utilize my open-minded, open question guide when he calls me back to say, tell me about your group. What are you doing today? What do you like about it? What don't you like it? Would it help you if I did this, I did that? And do you know anyone that can help me? I'm turning every phone call into a mutually quantitative value opportunity that turns into more and more of a community, a bigger community of two types of people. Well, first of all, they're all open-minded, open-hearted, and open-handed at most of the majority of the time. But more importantly, I've created a community of sponsors, people that know people that can help me, and power sponsors, people that can help me themselves, and they know someone that can help me. Trevor Houston's also in the house, another great talent. Want to shout out Trevor Houston, Sean Merriman, and Shane Sudafar is here as well. He's the real estate rookie of the year in Beverly Hills. Justin Pugh in the house as well. Keaton, what do you got for me next, my friend?
Yeah. And also, for the first time ever, we want to take some live questions. So if anybody has a question here at the bottom, we're going to answer one today. Because I know Mary had a little bit of an emergency. She's going to try to hop on right now.
No, I heard Mary had a little lamb.
I love your sense of humor. Almost, I love your face. You just mentioned quantitative value. One of the many things that you've helped me with, Dave, mentorship and so forth, is understanding quantitative value. And for the audience, it's so interesting to me, right? Because like when it comes to ROI, right? Certain things you can't break down. If I spend 20 grand, I'm going to make back 40. Sometimes you have to facilitate the quantitative value. For me, I'm still working on it, but you teach it better than anyone I've ever met. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so it's not just having the quantitative value. I see one of my clients in there, Terry Igioma. She's an incredible financial person and personality and teacher, and she's made millions for millions. And Terry, who I'm not working with anymore, right? Because I could not articulate the quantitative value of what we were doing together anymore. Now, she may or may not come back, but it's my accountability, right? It's not Terry's. If I can't articulate a quantitative value to exceed, that's why I have so much I do for free, so that everyone, can overcome that quantitative value. Then I have groups where people are not in a situation to receive enough information in the platform that I have other than being in the group. And then on my one-on-one side, look, you even had a difficult time understanding the quantitative value at times when we're working together, because people forget. And it's not them, it's you. You have to be able to articulate and say, how much would it cost you? Here's the reasons, impacts, and capabilities of working with me. And if you don't see it, I got a wait list, man. I got to get to the people that do see it. And two, I got to learn the lessons to articulate the quantitative value through, number one, being credible. Two, through an emotional attachment of understanding what you like and don't like. But three, to infuse that value. See, there's a word, by the way, that helps me with this. It's called presium. It's a Latin word. The word presium in Latin means price and value. See, they're one meaning in the original root of our language. And so I try to, by utilizing what you think, to create presium, value that is greater than the price that I'm asking, because then I'm actually giving, not receiving, right? If I give you $100 and I ask for 20 back, the presium is obvious. It's quantitative in nature. It's $80. And we can do that with every product, service, solution, or brand that we have to create presium, to create price and value, and then practice without assumption, articulating the quantitative value to exceed the price or what we're asking for. And that's what my main objective is. And when I fail myself, then I go back to practicing and say, okay, what was it that Craig didn't see? And I go ahead and then call you back and explain, hey, here's the presium of the opportunity. Can you see any reason you won't want to move forward? And then you have clarity, balance, and focus and say, oh, I see the presium now. Or maybe you don't and say, bro, it's not the right time. I'll get back to you when it is, like Terry Igioma, right? It wasn't the right time. She had personal issues. She had her own focus, just didn't get the value, or I wasn't capable of articulating it.
Yeah, you really are that articulate alligator. Absolutely beautifully said. And let me be 100% transparent and vulnerable. I got nothing to hide. You and I were on the phone this week. And something that I'm working on so much is abundance, right? Infinite and then mentality and so forth. But every now and then I catch myself, or you catch me with a thought of scarcity. And it's like, look, see what you did there so that we can improve it going forward. I'm a work in progress. Of course, I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm getting better. I'm much further ahead than I was 6 months ago. But
And you have an open mind though, and your mind keeps opening further. And Justin Pugh's in the house, and been coaching him for over 10 years, and his mind is so much more open. And look, remember, everyone has an open mind. My objective is to open your mind the majority of the time or more of the time, because if you have an open mind, you have an open heart and open hand, you start living in abundance. Money starts following you. The right people start following you. The ideas start following you and come to your head. And it is a paradigm shift that actually will change your entire existence. And, it's difficult at a high level. The group and the free stuff's easy because nobody has a higher level. But, I have a big wait list for one-on-one for a reason. It's because I tell the truth. And it's uncomfortable to tell someone that's paying you the truth and saying, hey, man, look, you got to effectively communicate. You're not allowing me to, because you have a scarce perception, you living in a world of not enough or just enough. And guess what? You're also serving the wrong God. Right. And I've done that before. I've served the wrong God, and not the God that's abundant, omniscient, all powerful, and all knowing, that loves me more than my mom, but one of money, one of scarcity, one of competition, one of comparison, one of judgment, one of condition. That's not a God that I pray to the majority of the time. And when I catch myself and expect others to catch me as well, I go ahead and stop, drop, and roll, start back over, remind, remember, and recollect the God that I do have faith in, not the one that I don't.
You're such a jug. It's ridiculous. I wanted to ask you, because what I was just saying to you, does it happen to you ever at this stage of the game for you, for as long as you've been doing this, where you catch yourself and like, wait a minute, Dave, that was a little bit of a scarcity thought?
Every day, every single day. The difference between me and my clients, me and the majority of the people, is I only spend minutes and moments, and I've spent 16 years practicing identifying the interference. So whenever I have a need to be offended, or I have a need to be angry, or I have a need to be upset, if I have a need to be anxious, if I have a need to be frustrated, if I need to have judgment, if I need to have attack, if I need to complain, if I need to be worried, if I need to be separate, if I need to be inferior, if I need to be superior, if I need to be guilty, if I need to be resentful. See, there's a lot of interference going on all day long. But I practice identifying that, and then instead of resisting it, fighting it, going over it, under it, through it, around it, lying to it, Craig, manipulating it, cheating it, I simply stop. I breathe through my nose, out through my mouth. I remind, remember, and recollect. What am I reminding, remembering, and recollecting to? The abundance, the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source of everything for everyone. And when I do that, I then roll into what I want, who I can help, who can help me, and how best to get that done. Reprioritizing, because I know prioritization is the antidote to the interference, the antidote to nothingness, the antidote to feeling overwhelmed. And when I reprioritize, instead of searching for something that I already have, searching for my why, I instead apply the why. Tell myself I am happy, healthy, wealthy, worthy. What am I doing to interfere with it and roll in the right trajectory? Jose Santiago, whatever your name is right there, I love you. You're exactly the type of person that should reach out to me, because you're proving my point. He says, F this S. His name is Jose Santiago. Why don't you call me, my brother, my cell phone, because you have a lot of interference, and I can help you as I have my brother above me, Craig. Listen to me. My cell phone number is 858-688-3294. I'd love to understand why you would want to come on a totally positive show like The Paradigm Shift and be so angry. Let me relieve that anger. Let me show you the life that you can live in abundance and happiness. And maybe you'll change your mind. You'll open your mind to making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun, like Craig has done, like the members of this community have done. And that interference, that anger, it's going to destroy you. Say it again.
You're fired up today, and this is like a master class. Dave,
Why don't we bring Jose on and see why he's so angry? What do you think?
Dave,
you think he's too chicken to come on? Go ahead, press him there.
Mary just hopped on. Do you have another 5 minutes, Dave?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and I love seeing you so hot and animated.
I love it, man.
Love you. We're going to bring on Mary. There she is.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
We're excited to have you. Me and Dave, we're just talking about it. Thank you for joining us. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Let's dive right in. First of all, I think are you in LA right now?
I'm in Miami.
Oh.
The other LA. That's the other LA.
Yeah.
The one without taxes.
This morning.
I love it. Mary, the episode that we did on the podcast broke records. Everybody was so excited. And one of the pieces of feedback was that they watched the show on Netflix. Of course, who doesn't? And by the way, I saw it got nominated for an Emmy. Congratulations. But so many people were so excited to see the different side of you, which was so deep and so forth. So we'll dive right in it. And also, I saw you just posted that you sold your biggest house ever. Is that right?
Yeah. I just closed yesterday on 35 million. Yeah.
No.
That's
awesome.
Very excited about it.
Yeah, and you're obviously doing your thing, so let's start right there. There's a lot of noise right now in the market, specifically real estate and so forth, but you're obviously doing your thing, no excuses. How do you maintain a positive mindset when there is a lot of negativity out there?
I think you just have to focus on the good things that are going. There's always business happening, so you just have to stay positive and have to don't get caught up in it. I mean, that's a negative mindset you're only going to get negative outcomes with a negative mindset. So just keep hustling, keep trying, and it eventually will work out. Like these clients, they're repeat clients. That's actually the same people where I got married. They're the same clients, so they are repeat, and then they're going to be selling their house their new house, which will be about another 30 million. Yeah, I know. We've got lots of good things happening, but sometimes it takes time. So you just have to push through and be patient, and good things always come around.
But Mary, you live in LA, right?
I do, yeah.
Dave, how far is that from you?
From Orange County, depends on traffic, but it should be an hour without traffic.
Yeah.
20 minutes in a helicopter.
I love Orange County. We have
20 minutes in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys should definitely connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you this. Mary, this is one thing that we talked about in the show that a lot of people really love. And then, David, I want to hear your answer. You guys are obviously both extremely successful in different fields and so forth. For somebody that's starting out now, that wants to get it going, but they're making every excuse as to why not, what would you say to that person that feels that imposter syndrome?
That feels the impossible syndrome?
The imposter syndrome, yeah.
I just always believe, like, fake it till you make it kind of thing. I mean, I think you just learn, like, sit and just surround yourself with people that are inspiring. Like, just be a sponge, absorb all of the information that you can. Everybody has to start somewhere. And so I think just kind of surround yourself with inspiring people and just kind of fake it till you make it, but learn along the way. Don't just try to don't be fake, I guess, which is kind of, I guess, doesn't really make sense, but I don't know. I think just you just have to believe in yourself and keep moving forward.
Dave, that's why I hang around you.
Yeah, right. No, I think it's interesting. I think within the, everyone is insecurity is about, am I what other people think of me? And I think learning to love ourselves is the best way to dissolve or to dissipate the worthiness issues that people have that create the imposter syndrome. And when we work on our own self-love and understand that we give meaning to everything I say, I think a pragmatic tool to help reduce the imposter syndrome is to surround yourself, like Mary said, with the right people and the right ideas. So find someone who sits in a situation that you want to be in, and not necessarily fake it till you make it. I'd say ask your way to make it where other people are, because the fastest way to get to where you want to be is find someone in the situation you want to be in and ask them for help. And I have found, as someone who for years lived with unworthiness issues and projected those insecurities and lived in fear that I wasn't as much as what everybody thought I was. And I used to cringe when I was in my 20s as a millionaire, and people were like, oh, there's Midas, oh, he's amazing, everything he touches turns to gold. And I was buying not only my own bullshit, but I would cringe because I knew it wasn't true. There's two types of people, right? There's ignorant people, people that don't know what they don't know. And then there's ignorant people, people that don't know what they don't know. The difference between the two ignorant people is there's radically humble ignorant people that admit they don't know what they don't know. And then there's the arrogant, ignorant people that they don't know what they don't know. And I'll go back to that picture on Monday of the Webb telescope. If you think you know what you know and can see billions of galaxies, then you're just lying to yourself. And that's where the worthiness issues resolve themselves. Stop living in arrogant ignorance. Come with me into humility. Admit you don't know what you don't know. Find people who know what you want to know and ask them for help. It'll dissolve those imposter feelings that you have that are based on worthiness.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Were you going to say something, Mary?
So what an idiot.
No, no, I totally agree with you. Like I have no problem still saying, like, I listen to Jason all the time when I'm sitting in the office, and I still I just listen and I still learn things from him. And I think it's good to always learn. You don't have to know everything. Life is about learning and growing. So yeah, I think it's good to say, like, I don't know it all, and that's okay. And you don't have to worry about what people think. I mean, God, if I did, I'd lose my mind because the whole world has an opinion. But it's hard sometimes. It's really hard to just keep reminding yourself of, like, it's okay. I'm happy with who I am, and I'm cool with it, because everybody will judge and have an opinion.
Yeah, and Dave, one thing that you taught me big time was you don't know what you don't know. And what's so interesting is, talk about a paradigm shift. I've now found power in saying I don't know. Whereas I used to have, I guess the ego was like, oh, I'll figure it out, or I'll know everything. But if I don't know something, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a huge paradigm shift for everyone. And understand, I think it ties in faith as well. When we realize that we don't know so much, and there's billions of galaxies, it for me allows me to have faith that there's something bigger than me that actually loves me more than my mom. So when there's setbacks, failures, and mistakes in my life, instead of being punished like most people feel, I actually feel like I'm being promoted and protected. And when you get old like me, not young like you two, you start seeing a pattern that, hey, some of the worst things in my life really turned out great. And maybe I am always being promoted and protected. And so if we don't get the listing that we thought we wanted, and we didn't get the buyer or the seller that we thought, and then, a year later, it's like, oh, thank God. The market doubled since then, and I got a different buyer. And it always, when you have faith in the truth of the abundance and the infinity that exists, that promotion and protection keeps coming. And the success that Mary's had and you've had, Craig, I think are indicative of people who have the right attitude, the right perspective of abundance. And money follows you too, success follows, and good people follow. And as they say, the mathematical equation of luck, what you pay attention to and what you give intention to equals those coincidences that create the happiness for both of you.
That's it. We'll land the plane with this. I know it's Saturday. I want you guys to get back doing your thing. Simply put, Mary, how important and significant is it to distance yourself from toxic people?
Oh God, it's incredibly. But why would you think that that I've ever had experience with that? Yeah, I think it's super important. I think toxic people just they bring you down, and it's just you have to surround yourself with the kind of people that you want to be like, that raise you up, that make you feel good. Um, I I had to learn the hard way because I just kept, obviously you know what I'm talking about, and I'm not even going to mention names, but but I have had to just learn that you can't save people, you can't change people. They do what they do, but you just have to surround yourself with the kind of people that you want in your life and be around, because it will bring you down. It's mentally and physically exhausting to be around toxic people, and who has time for that? Life is short. Like, be around the people that make you feel good, that are a positive influence on you and to the world. So good luck to toxic people. Just keep them out of my
Mary's got
bubble.
Dave, Dave, to land the plane with this, what comes to mind is what you always say is your frequency is your neighborhood.
Yeah, your frequency is your neighborhood. Feed that which feeds you. And if you can determine that which bleeds you, let it fall away or even fire it from your life. Remember, you can reconcile gratitude. Gratitude says there's light, love, and lessons in everyone. That's what Mary's saying. And that we can pray for people's happiness and we can let them fall away or fire them. But we do have to reconcile time with gratitude, meaning, hey, I know there's light, love, and lessons in you, but you're bleeding me. So you're not worth my time today. I'm going to prioritize the people that feed me, and my frequency is my neighborhood. So I want to have a neighborhood full of people that give me options, opportunities, and touches of favor, that don't bleed me and soul suck me. And that's why successful people keep aggregating more successful people. I think indicative of the success and happiness that Mary's has is the person she just closed that house for was at her wedding. And that just shows that she has a frequency, a neighborhood of abundance, of a higher vibration that's going to keep on creating more options, more opportunities, and touches of favor. And everybody can have them if they focus in on feeding others, and others will feed you. I really appreciate you both, and thank you for having me this morning. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Thank you guys for joining us, Mary. As always, congratulations on the sale. Big Dave, don't get too much more handsome. I love you so much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Nice to meet you, Mary. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you, Craigie Poo.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
Take care.
Awesome conversation, guys. If you don't already follow Mary, which I imagine you do, go check her out. You can watch her on Netflix or obviously on social media. Big Dave, as always, my partner in crime. So many nuggets. I like seeing him get heated, too. That was cool. Love you guys from the bottom of my heart. That was fun. If you guys aren't in the texting community, text them at the bottom of the screen, totally free. Let's have an unbelievable weekend. Think big. Distance yourself from toxic people. And practice gratitude and move forward, guys, and never, ever, ever give up. Love you guys. Have a great weekend.